Alright, so here we are in the semifinals. If we go and look at our bracket here, we are up against DJBigRuss, who I have added, and there we go. We are ready to go. So, let's get this thing underway. Oh, okay, he is 540 legend rank, so we'll see whether this goes well. Okay, so here we are, first match of the semifinals against a legend-ranked Druid. And we have, okay, we have a fairly strong sort of a hand. We're going to get rid of this. We have good combo potential on the Abusive Sergeant and the Petition's Blade. We're not going to keep out the Shadow Step, though. Otherwise, I think this is good.
The light protects me.
Okay, so he starts with an opening Argent Squire, so that's pretty quick. I think we're going to do the Dream here, and open with the Dagger Blood Cell combo. This time we'll use it to take out the Squire. Okay, nice and standard sort of an opening. So we will follow this up with our Blood Cell, and we will take out the Squire ourselves. Okay, we're going to innervate out something scary, maybe a Druid with a Claw. Oh no, an Azure Drake. Okay. So this is actually very fortunate for us because we can backstab and Perdition's Blade it very, very easily. Now I think that is the best play. Yep. Absolutely. I don't think there's much else that we can do here that's better. So we will do this, and Perdition's Blade, and we will actually hit him as well. Okay, nice and standard. Fortunately for him, mana inefficient, but that's alright. Now the question is whether or not we trade with this, or whether we continue to go forward. Having a Druid's board clear is not as important as having some other classes' boards clear, but I do think it is important to do in this case. So what I will do is I will take him... Yeah, we're going to do this, and it'll be a clean trade, so that's at least a 1-for-1. And we'll take this out. Get my own daggers, and... Now, do I want to drop Thalnos here? I think that I do for the cards. I don't feel especially comfortable with that, though, I have to say. I'm not going to eviscerate him. That's an absolute waste against a Druid. Yeah, I think we are going to put down the Thalnos. Okay, so we're going to take out the 3-1 here, assumedly. Yep. Okay, the Imp Master, interesting. So this is probably then a token Druid, very much into tokens and Savage Roar, so otherwise I don't really see a lot of a reason for a Druid to be running an Imp Master. So what we can do here is we'll put down the Abusive Sergeant on the Thalnos, and we'll eviscerate the Imp Master. We can take out the Imp with the daggers, so I think that's... Oh, well, hold on. We have 5 mana to play with. So I'm actually going to put out the Loot Hoarder instead of the Abusive Sergeant. There's no reason to put out the Abusive Sergeant.
Here we go.
And as much as I said I'd put him out for the card, to put him out for the... I mean, if he can get some extra damage in and keep the spell power alive, all the better.
Where shall I...
Okay, Druid with Claw in taunt form. We can sap that very easily, and I think that that's probably the right choice. Okay. I didn't realize I forgot to switch back in the Big Game Hunter, so we have Assassinate in here. I don't actually like that, but so be it. So I think we're going to sap as opposed to assassinating, especially given that we have both options. And at this point, putting out the Leroy is silly. I could put out the Abusive Sergeant to hit for another 2 this turn, and then daggers. I think I'd rather keep him, though, for a Leroy sort of combo, or just a combo starter.
Here
So
we
we're just going to waste 2 mana, which is unfortunate, but we'll give this a shot. Okay, Ancient of Lore. So he'll use that for the card draw, quite obviously. He's not in danger here. And he'll innervate out probably the hero power, yep. And he'll take out, either one gives me a card, but he'll take out Thalnos probably. Yep. Okay, so Deadly Poison. Now, the Ancient of Lore... So we aren't going to assassinate it, especially now with what we have on the table. I think it is actually appropriate, though, if we Perdition's Blade, hit it for 1, and then Deadly Poison with the Perdition's Blade to hit it for the remaining 4. I think that's probably the best choice here.
Here we go.
Now again, I don't really feel comfortable leaving 3 mana on the table. But an Abusive Sergeant here will only give me 2 more damage, so it'll take him down to 15. And I have Leroy in hand, and I think that I actually want to keep the Abusive Sergeant for something more productive, so I'm going to hold him back.
Pay attention,
Okay,
class.
Violet Teacher. This is absolutely the archetypal token Druid deck.
I am ready to learn.
Blade Flurry would be wonderful here. The Loot Hoarder replicates itself. Okay, so I think the thing to do here, it really does hurt to do this, and I don't like doing this, but I think we are going to assassinate the Violet Teacher, and then we'll combo out the SI7. I don't like it on a lot of levels, but I think that it has to be the case. Token Druids rely entirely on board control, and if they don't have it, they lose. So this is something that we have to do. So that's all the mana. The question is whether to use the Blade, and I don't think that I will. I'm going to take the chance that he is not running any oozes. Token Druids tend to not. Okay, another Ancient Lore, and this will again be... Oh, it was health, not cards. So that actually says to me he might have his combo in his hands. It certainly says to me that he's got Force of Nature Savage Roar, so we need to be very careful right now. He also might be suspecting something miracle-ish, like a Miracle Rogue combo. We want to probably eviscerate that. We could also Abusive Sergeant the SI7.
So many.
It takes that out, and then we have the Loot Hoarder. We could eviscerate him. We could hit him for 4, so that would take him down to... what would that do? That would take him down to 13. I don't see a better way of getting rid of the Ancient of Lore, so I think that we have to do this. I really do wish that I had Blade Flurry handy, but so be it. And I think that I do have to eviscerate his win condition at the moment is going to be Force of Nature Savage Roar.
Go.
And so I think that, and I know he has it because of the way he just played there, he's trying to take down my health. So I really hope I draw into a Shadow Step, and that's basically all we can do. I have a 2 in 15 chance. That's when I'll put his taunt back out, absolutely, and I'll put 2 out so that we can really not do it. And of course, there's the Blade Flurry, which would have been much better if I actually had. So, I think I have essentially lost the game because I did that too soon. We're going to use Leroy as removal here, and it's going to really sting to do. But there's nothing else that we can really do here. Essentially, if I had not hit him in the face with the 4-1 dagger, I could have Blade Flurried and traded easily. But unfortunately, because I did that, I have no options here. I sort of had a second thought when I was doing it, but that was just a straight up misplay on my part. So, in order to get this off the table, we're going to put down Leroy and Blade Flurry.
Time's up. Let's do this.
I'm going to hope to walk into a card here. That is not really the card we would have hoped to walk into. especially because this would have been helpful if it was, if I could play them both, but I can't. And there's nothing I can do about this. So, now I can take this out, but the Savage Roar Force of Nature combo does 14 damage. So if he has it, I lose. I have to take the gamble though, because even if he had it, if he doesn't have it, then this might save me, and if he does have it, I would have lost either way.
Well played.
Yeah, and he certainly does. That was a mistake on my part early on, well, at the end of the game there, but otherwise that was very, very close. That was a good game.
Valera versus Malfurion.
Okay.
Protect the wild.
Watch your back.
So, this is gone, and this is gone. We'll keep the Deadly Poison, though. Okay. Not an ideal starting hand. Luckily, he does not have his opening hand either. It seems weird to play a Thalnos. I don't have my Bloodsail for the easy combo here. But I think we're gonna just do this.
Here we go.
He's gonna coin out what I would assume to be a Harvest Golem. Yep. It's very, very standard turn 2 play. So we could get rid of that with Deadly Poison. I'm not going to do that, though. I could also Thalnos Deadly Poison, but I think that I won't. I think that, much as it is painful to do, I'm just going to put out a blank, uncomboed SI7.
Here we go.
And finish that with Hero Power, of course. Which is just fine. I'll take out his thing with the daggers this turn, presumably. Now, I say that, but I think actually the Sengen would be the better choice. Between the Sergeant or Thalnos and daggers, neither seems very attractive, and I wouldn't want to Deadly Poison it because I'd only be taking out a 2-1. Now, he made some changes to his deck in between rounds. He made them very quickly, which leads me to believe that he's a legend ranked player. He probably knows what he's doing as far as taking trades go. I am curious, though, as to what he swapped out. So he will buff that to make it a pain, and he'll take that out with Hero Power. Unbeknownst to him, of course, I have another one. Now, whether I'll play that this turn is a good question. If an Azure Drake pops up, which it doesn't, I could do Thalnos SI7 for a mana efficient turn, but I think actually it would be better to not do that and just do the the Sengen and be mana inefficient. I don't like doing that at all, but I think out of all of the options I have, Thalnos SI7 would get me a card later and 2 damage on him extra now, and I just don't think that's worth it. Especially when both of them can be used much more efficiently in other scenarios.
I must safeguard the land.
Okay, so that's going to be damage instead of a silence. Okay, that's a bit of a strange choice. Okay, so Shadow Step here is a part of a win condition in that I can do 12 damage to him with Leroy. Now, that's only half of his health. I could also do... I could Abusive Sergeant the Sengen and Blood Mage and SI7 and get some board presence and get out there for that and sort of keep the Shadow Step back. The other thing is that I could also actually kill the Keeper of the Grove for quote-unquote free by using Abusive Sergeant on the Sengen, putting on the SI7 for the 2 damage, and then Shadow Stepping him for the other 2 damage. In any case, I'm going to do the Abusive Sergeant here.
Maggot.
I think we are going to do the Shadow Step on
This
the
guy's
keeper.
toast.
It is not a pleasant thing, but I think it's probably the better choice.
Ha, this guy's toast.
Job's done.
Okay, I was sort of expecting that. Oh, and that's brilliant. Of course, that's certainly the change that he made, was to put out the Swamp Ooze, which is all the better for us, that he's used one of them. He has another one sitting in the chamber, almost assuredly. I think the right choice here is going to be the Azure Drake. And we lucked into an excellent little combo here. I'm happy to trade for that. And I think we're going to get the daggers out.
Hey, lights out.
I'm not going to use them because I will deadly poison them next turn and hit him for more, get more value out of it. Also potentially to do that with a Blade Flurry as well. Okay, he healed with that. That tells me that he probably has his combo sitting in his hand once again. So I think that Deadly Poison and trading here is probably the better option. Although, to be fair, Deadly Poison on the Assassin's Blade is a pretty sexy thing as well. If I were to do that, I can kill him myself,
So many.
which is probably actually superior, and then I hit him for 7 this turn. The problem is, of course, that's very vulnerable to an Ooze. That's essentially paying 6 mana for 1 removal, which is not great. But there's also a chance that he doesn't have it, so I think that we will do exactly this.
Here we go.
Hey, lights out.
And I guess we'll put out Thalnos at this point. If he kills it with a swipe or something of the similar nature, then we'll get a card out of it, which I would very much like. And if not, he might be dead next turn. I have 13 on the table. Oh, wow. What a card. That, there's very few places where that could have been better used.
Well played.
Well played.
Okay, so the thing about that is that I actually win regardless. Because essentially, we have 7 on the table, we have 6, and then another 11, so we easily win.
Hey, lights out.
Well played.
Okay, there we go. So we're at 1-1 for this contest here. Oh, and we happen to also get 100 gold for the quest today that I was so lucky to receive. Perfect. Okay, so this is the pivotal match. He has not made any changes to his deck, nor have I made any changes to mine. And the winner here goes on to the finals. So this is a very, very high stakes game. We're going to keep everything else. We're going to keep the Perdition's Blade, we're going to keep the SI7 and the Abusive Sergeant. Those are all nice early game combos. And certainly we will play the Abusive Sergeant on turn 1, if given the opportunity. And it seems like we have been given the opportunity, so we'll do that.
Get in there and fight!
One of the big reasons for that as well is that both the SI7 agent and the Perdition's Blade combo extremely well with the coin, and so he will take this out, but we will combo at an SI7 agent next turn, and do the extra 2 damage on him anyway.
Ha, this guy's toast.
Next turn can be the Perdition's Blade, if he puts out anything, which I think is a strong choice. That's even stronger now. And we will do exactly that. We will use the Perdition's Blade here, and I will hit him with the 1 damage. Unfortunately, we can't combo it out, but I will take out the Ooze myself.
Hey, lights out.
Tazdingo! Yeah.
Okay, we have our taunt minion. We can take this out in a couple of ways. I think the way that I'm going to choose to do it is with Sap. We could use Blade Flurry, but I think that's a waste. I think we're going to sap and then hit him with the Perdition's Blade and get a new set of daggers out of it.
Here we go.
Hey, lights out.
Now we're fairly early in the game and we've knocked him down quite a bit. It's rare that we get this sort of a fast start, fast lead, but we are in a good position at the moment. I'm cautiously optimistic here, especially given that we have a ton of our own here. Okay. So that's nothing if not beautiful for us. That's essentially a 5-mana solution to a 3-mana card, so I'm happy. Now we can put out our own taunt here. I think that the correct answer, given the health difference at the moment, is absolutely going to be to take this out with my own, with the hero. And it would be mana efficient to put out the Assassin's Blade, but since I can't use it on the first turn, and he definitely has another ooze in there, I think that the Shield Master is the correct choice, so that's what we'll do.
None.
Okay, the Black Knight. That's a card you see increasingly frequently lately. Certainly a good card in this particular instance. So we have a couple of options. We could easily enough do something like an SI7 agent and eviscerate. In order to do that well, we would want to do something like, I guess we would eviscerate first, but there's no great options here. 1 mana efficient option, which I really don't feel like doing, I mean it's very wasteful in a lot of ways, would be to use Blade Flurry and Eviscerate, and that would clear his board and give me new daggers, but that's quite the reach. It loses me Blade Flurry, but I have a Blade Flurry in the deck, and if I don't do that, there's basically no way to get around this. He's traded essentially a 6-mana card there for a 4-mana card for free. If he gets damage on me, that's a really good deal for him, but if he doesn't, it's not a bad deal. I'd be using 2 cards to take out his 1, but it's still mana positive. So I think it's such a weird choice, and I suppose we'll tell whether or not it's correct, depending on whether I win or lose the game, but it feels like the best option here. He would be happy to see that. That's a victory for him. Okay, Harvest Golem and Ascension Shieldmaster. Okay. So we can do the Shadow Step trick with the SI7 agent to do this. Although we can't actually. We don't have enough. We don't have a starting combo. We could do it with both Shadow Steps, but that does seem quite wasteful. It depends, I suppose, on how desperate I am to get rid of his taunt this turn. If I hit the Sengen myself, it's down to 4. Play the SI7, Shadow Step it back, and do that. So that's 3 mana, and then 4 mana, 5 mana, and daggers.
I wonder.
The only other option would be to Assassin's Blade, which will not kill it. It opens me up to being hit by ooze.
So many options.
This is a very tough spot, and I don't think there's a good right answer here. He can't do the Savage Roar Force of Nature combo next turn. He could put down the Savage Roar by itself, though. If he did that, essentially I'm looking at 5 plus 4 plus 2, so that's going to be 11 damage, which is not enough. And since I have that option in hand, perhaps the best thing to do would be actually to use the Assassin's Blade here. Yeah, this is a really tough choice. I don't think there's a good right answer.
Here we go.
But we'll go with this and see where it takes us. Okay, so he's not going to blow the Savage Roar.
Take heart.
He does have Cairn,
Earth Mother is here.
and is going to innervate out a... what? A Yeti. That's essentially 3 Yetis in 1 turn. That's okay, though. Now, I actually win, and I can't believe that just happened. So essentially, that's a really terrible thing. So we're gonna take out this, It's a good thing I made the right choice, although I have to say that I don't... I did not expect to draw into a Leroy, but I suppose I should have thought that it would be the thing to do. We're going to do this, and then we're just going to do that one more time, and we are in the finals of the Managrind tournament. And so there we go. Alright, I can't believe that. That was a sort of a sleazy way to win, but there we go, we're in the finals. Great.